good friend Coleman Rogers from Jeff Brown Yachts, and he is aboard the 2024 Axopar 28 Aft Cabin, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And this is a very cool boat, and he's been gracious enough to offer to take us through and show us all about it.
Right on. Yeah, like Rick said, my name's Coleman. I work with Jeff Brown Yachts here on the West Coast, where we're the dealer for Axopar boats, and specifically up here in the Northwest, where these boats have become really popular.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Aft Cabin, people like the option to have a place to potentially sleep and stay overnight, or just store gear down below where it's nice and dry and safe. So yeah, we'll do a quick walkthrough and show you a couple of my favorite features and just some of the new things on the 2024.
So with the Aft Cabin, you give up obviously the wet bar, which is this is the 28.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, so it's kind of nice that we have both side by side
Yeah.
here. This is a 2023, but essentially same. There's not a lot of changes, but it's great to kind of see how the boats are almost identical from here forward, but then, depending on how you want to use the boat, which is often the first thing I kind of go over with people who are looking at these boats, it might make a lot more sense to have this outdoor entertaining, fishing, multi-purpose space, or maybe it's nice to just have the lounge and people really want the extra sleeping accommodations down here. This boat's equipped with two Mercury 200 horsepower V6s. This is kind of probably the best option for power on this boat. I mean, a lot of people love twin engines. It's the maximum horsepower for this boat, and so on a performance boat, it's really great to have all the performance packed in. This boat has almost every option box checked, I would say. Trying to think what it's missing. The only big thing that this boat wasn't optioned with was the Brabus trim. So instead of the black piping and railing that you see over on this Brabus trim 37, we've got stainless, which I really like with the white motors. I think it looks really nice together. And then this is the sandstone upholstery, the Silvertex upholstery throughout the boat. I think it's a great neutral color, and it looks really good with the white and the stainless.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
very pretty.
Up top, we've got our GPS antenna, searchlight, Simrad radar, and of course our VHF antenna on top of our little radar mast here. And then we've got a couple of crossbars up top for mounting just about anything you can mount on a crossbar on your car.
Anything, kayak, bikes, the whole 9 yards.
Oh yeah, yeah. Roof baskets. I have a client who's mounted one of these Thule. It's just a platform. It's a big deck, and he keeps his crab pots up there, and it's just nice to have stuff up out of the way. And as long as it's pretty lightweight, I think you can pretty much strap anything up there. Put a small inflatable dinghy, or just about anything.
Absolutely.
So we'll go ahead and just kind of move forward here into the cockpit. Like I said, this boat has pretty much all the high-end options you can get. You've got the twin 12-inch displays behind the glass there, which is really sleek.
Yeah, that is really cool.
People love that modern look on kind of a modern boat like this. You've got trim tabs, your bow thruster here, of course your updated Mercury control box with a push to start, individual trim components up top here, and a few other components here, mainly the active trim, which you can either control from the control box here or on the display. We've got our articulating wheel here for different driving positions. If it's a little bit more rough out, I like to kind of put my feet up on the step here and kind of lock myself in the bolster, and it's really nice because you get a little bit of height. You can see the wave patterns and kind of the water a little bit better. Or if you're just kind of cruising along, just drop the bolster down and hang out, and it's just as comfortable as your average car.
Yeah, it's just really slick helm.
Another thing I'd like to point out, you mentioned earlier with the Aft Cabin, you do lose the wet bar configuration, but you do also have a little bit of a galley setup here. So we've got latches on either side here to keep the seats in place. Got a little sink for washing your hands, maybe washing out some dishes. And then you've got a proper fridge in here with a cold plate
Yeah, that's really
and a drain. So if you're at anchor or at the dock and you want to make a little sandwich or have some drinks, you're all good to go there.
that's awesome.
Uh, Today's actually and right now is a great day to kind of showcase why these boats are so popular around here because it's early February, we're in Washington State, and you can kind of have two different seasons within the matter of 6 hours. I mean, this morning I had all the doors closed, I was running the diesel heater and nice and cozy. But also sun came out, slide the doors all the way open. You've got your electric roof here, and just a few seconds, you kind of have a totally open center console walk around, go fast boat.
Yeah, it's completely different.
So I really like that. And even if you're driving around, you can close up the doors, knock down the wind chill, and still have this kind of glorious sunlight and ventilation. And then, of course, as soon as your passengers get cold, you just close up the roof and turn on the heater, and you're good to go.
No, it's kind of why these have just become so popular up here. It's just they are the quintessential Northwest boat in that way.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will ask, what's it for? What's it designed for? And I'd say it's kind of like a car in the sense that it's a vehicle, right? It's for getting around, it's for accessing activities, going places, taking people around, going out sightseeing, or just, being a commuter. And then go back here to the aft cabin. So you got this nice long bench seat. You can get three people comfortably across. And then all you got to do here is lift this guy up, lock the seat in place, and you've got your sleeping accommodations, or rather dry storage. And while it's not huge, it is actually quite spacious. There's a lot of light from the windows on either side. And then there's also a large hatch on top that if you remove the sunbed cushions, then you have a huge skylight down there for some ventilation.
Yes. What's the length of the bed? It looks
That's a
like
great question. I think it's probably about 6 feet end to
that's what it
end.
seems. Easy.
I'm not a huge guy, but I can certainly get down in here pretty comfortable and got another, I don't know, foot to go.
You're 6'4" in my book, man.
So yeah, it's great. I love it. You got blinds, and you can't see it where you're at, but um, they have this really clever system. So if you've got the cushions off up top and you are letting light through, you can either close this blackout curtain. It's a magnetic closure, and then you can also slide it the other way. If it's summer and you're taking a nap, you've got a screen, so you can let ventilation through and not worry about bugs and all that stuff. So I really like this
Outstanding. Yeah, that's really
nice little clever system in there.
yeah. The finish and everything is just beautiful in here. The upholstery. They just do a fabulous job.
People also ask me, how many people can it sleep? And, you can fit two people there. But another thing that I really like about this configuration is actually really easy to switch this around, slide this guy back, and you can pop this seat out here, actually. So support that slides out like that. Drop your seat
I
down.
did not know that. That is really cool.
Yeah. Latch. There we go.
Here it is.
So now you've got
Yeah.
basically what I would call a pilot berth or just kind of an extra berth here. So maybe you're out by yourself with your kids, or maybe you're out with a buddy or something and you don't want to stuff two people down in there. You can sleep somebody down below, somebody up top pretty comfortably, and still have some space to move around the cabin and stow your bags. And, I wouldn't hesitate to go spend a weekend on here with a friend or two. And
No, not at all.
it's really awesome, especially with the heater.
Yeah.
It's quite comfortable. And of course, you can still get into your fridge, for a midnight snack.
The most important. Yeah, we'll move forward to the bow.
Sweet.
And,
So one of my favorite things on the 28 is the full walk around and the full access. And I really like this asymmetrical bow seating because, of course, you can seat people. You can have folks, leaning up here pretty comfortably.
Sure.
But as somebody who drives these boats a lot, it's really nice to be able to walk all the way forward and get to your bow lines and anchor system without having to climb on top of seats or maybe make people get up. Like a lot of traditional bow seating will kind of be all encompassing, and so you're
Right.
kind of climbing over stuff. So it just kind of goes to show how they really focused on ergonomics and really paid attention to how the person actually uses the boat and moves around.
No, that's one thing. They're just so well thought out, well thought through, the design, and it speaks to why they're becoming so popular.
Yep, and you got a bunch of storage under here and up in the forward seat, as well as it houses the thruster battery, your AC panel, and a battery charger. And then down below, under this hatch, you've got access to the diesel tank for the heater, the bow thruster mechanical, and then the holding tank, among some other mechanical components. And then this guy does also drop down, which fills in as a full sun lounge up here as well.
Outstanding.
And then, of course, the kind of infamous Axopar forward head that everyone loves to see. Fairly spacious. It's not something that you'd get on, a huge yacht, but it's also pretty nice for a boat this size.
For a boat, that's very impressive.
Yeah, and down here under the step, there's a vent for the heater, so that actually stays warm in there. You've got an electric flush with a holding tank monitor and electric water pump as well, and a 120 volt AC outlet in there. So I mean, kind of some big boat features in this little day head.
That's outstanding. Is there an option for shower? Or?
There's not a shower in here. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not really space for that, but there is a wash down, kind of a
Wash down,
shower out on the back for go swimming or just washing off gear and stuff after you get it in the salt water.
Sure. And what's the list price on
This boat,
as it sits?
as it sits, is $249. So yeah, I mean, a lot of other boats in this range. It's very competitively priced, and for the right person who really sees how these boats are designed and meant to be used, it's a great option.
It sure is. Just they're outstanding boats, and I encourage everyone who has any kind of interest to give you a call and take a look. You'll be thoroughly impressed. But I can't thank you enough for taking the time, as always, and taking us through and doing such a great job.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to doing it again, hopefully in the future.
Absolutely, Rick. We'll have to get you out on the water sometime soon.
I'll take you up on that, like this afternoon.
Well, we're kind of crocheted in here, but we'll make it happen one of these days.
Fair enough. Thanks, Coleman.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.